Welcome. Okay, today we're going to be talking a little bit about inflammation, specifically with it coming from foods. Now, you guys are going to hear about some of these foods that I'm going to talk about, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of the why behind avoiding them for the majority of the time is going to show you a lot of benefits from a nutritional perspective, okay? So some of your top inflammation-based foods are going to be things like poor quality dairy, poor quality gluten, and a lot of processed sugars. Those three things will wreak havoc on your body if consumed regularly. Now I say that because I want to be realistic with you. I still want you to have that flexible approach of, yeah, of course we're gonna go out and we're gonna eat maybe some really good pizza, or we might have candy every once in a while. But remember, it's all about the compound effect. It's the things you do every day. Now, if you're constantly taking in poor quality dairy, poor quality gluten, right? Poor quality gluten and processed sugars, what's gonna happen is it's gonna cause inflammation in your body. Inflammation is not good. Inflammation leads to a lot of issues. Number one, typically in the gut, right? Experience a lot of bloating, bloated all the time, gut feels real heavy, always tired, right? Having a hard time digesting foods all the time. That's typically a sign of inflammation in the gut, which can lead to things like leaky gut, candida, things like that. And that's a place we don't want to go, trust me. And if you're taking in a lot of inflammatory based foods, your body tends to want to reject it. So you'll notice that a lot of people, maybe you or maybe some people you know, develop food sensitivities. A lot of that usually comes to be because you're intaking inflammatory foods on a consistent basis, again, compounded over time, and your body, being the most adaptive machine on planet Earth, starts to reject it, so it develops a sensitivity, not an allergy, a sensitivity to it, because it doesn't want to cause inflammation anymore. Inflammation can then become chronic. It can carry over. It can go into things like your joints, right? Oh man, my elbow's hurting all the time, my knees are hurting all the time. It can also cause a lot of brain fog. It can also cause skin issues, okay? And it can also cause excessive body fat. So especially around the stomach area. So avoiding inflammation is the best thing you can do, especially if you're trying to lose fat, if you're trying to gain muscle, you're really trying to amplify all the hard work that you're doing in the gym, right? That's why you're watching this. So reducing inflammatory based foods, that's an easy thing to just Google search, right? What foods are inflammatory? Inflammatory based foods. Try to avoid those at all costs. And I'm just gonna tell you right here, a lot of that has to do with poor quality dairy. You know, so if you're eating yogurts, if you're eating any type of dairies, especially if you're drinking protein powders that aren't good quality, they're not grass-fed or they're not organic, that could be contributing to a lot of inflammation, okay? If you're taking in a lot of breads or any type of gluten-based things, it's gonna cause inflammation. And look, here's the realistic thing. Can your body handle it? Yes. Your body's a detoxing machine. It can handle a lot of processed foods, pesticides, things like that. But when it comes in the body consistently over time, and that's compounded over time, the body just begins to reject it, and it gives you signs and symptoms. Bloating, skin issues, tired, brain fog, joints aching. It gives you signals, and if you avoid them, it's going to cause problems internally. And that's really what you want to avoid so you could really learn to amplify your results. That's it, guys. Thank you again for joining me today.